Hi guys, Kurt Provost here, your guide to all things new skin. I hope you're liking my little makeshift studio that I have behind me here in New Caledonia. It is a little tricky to be getting the same quality of videos that I used to, but there's an important video that I've been wanting to make for a couple of weeks now because I watched a show on Netflix called I Will Teach You to Be Rich by a guy called Ramit Sethi. Now that's not the first time I've heard of Ramit. I listened to his interview many years ago on the Tim Ferriss show and a whole bunch of other things. He's got a book out there. He's got a website by the same name, I'll Teach You to Be Rich. And this series, this kind of mini series has just recently launched about a month ago, I believe, on Netflix. And it's very high production. It's generally well done. And, you know, I like Ramit. I like what he's doing and I like what he is trying to instigate out there in the lives of many people, and that is a greater focus on financial literacy, demystifying money so that it's no longer a cause for conflict and concern within our lives, and kind of prompting us to have those difficult conversations around money with our partners, because that is a major source of conflict generally within relationships. And so I think all of that is great. Until we got to episode 6, I believe it is, where it's called Multi-Level Marketing Madness, or MLM Madness. And of course, I am with a MLM company. I am with Nu Skin. Now, just a few things on definitions first. If you're watching this for the very first time and you don't know who Nu Skin is, or what network marketing or multi-level marketing or direct sales. So direct sales is the entire industry of companies that go direct to consumers. So there's a bunch of them out there. Most of the online businesses you could classify as direct sales. Back in the day, it used to be, you know, people kind of door-to-door salespeople and that kind of thing, where they were employing a sales team that were going direct to the consumer. And today it looks like Amazon, it looks like drop shippers, it looks like network marketers, it looks like a bunch of different things where they're going direct to the consumer. So network marketing is the form of marketing that is used, and that is networking or marketing products through your personal network and connections. So that's the descriptive word of what we're actually doing on a day-to-day basis, and that's probably the best description of our work and our role out there in society. So we market products through our personal networks and connections. And multi-level marketing is referring to being paid, the compensation plan, being paid on multiple levels. So not just being paid on your own activity, but being paid on any salesperson that you've recruited into the business and taught how to do the business. You'll get a percentage of that as well. It's about whether or not there's leverage in the compensation plan for everyday people or not. Now, that is a contentious issue for many people, and unfortunately I believe that our industry has done itself no favors over the years, and so many of the accusations against anti-MLM, I guess you could say, are based in a legitimate concern. And I can totally understand it, because personally I've been invited to check out other people's businesses, but it wasn't actually that sort of invitation. I was invited for a coffee, and on the way the plans changed. They said, can you come to my apartment? And I was like, okay, that's a little weird, but sure. And then I show up to the apartment and they've got someone else there as well that they didn't tell me about, and they've got the brand name of this network marketing company all over the place. And so immediately I just felt kind of like I was conned or trapped into this business presentation that it turned out to be, instead of having a cup of coffee with someone and talking. We were going to talk about business, but it wasn't that straightforward, and it left a really sour taste in my mouth because they had betrayed my trust. And so I have experienced this. No doubt many people have experienced this, and I believe this is a big issue within our industry is the negative stigma attached to network marketing and multi-level marketing companies, because there are people out there that build the business in that way. And I also don't hold it against those distributors, because maybe they're brand new, maybe they are super eager and they just want to share this, and they think they're going to get rejected if they do it some other way because they're aware of this stigma, so they think that that's the only way. And people come up with all sorts of crazy ideas when they're super passionate about something, they want to get it out there, and I don't believe that's the best practice or the best way to go about it, but nonetheless many people do that. So that is an issue in our industry, and it creates a lot of scar tissue out there in society, and people have these very strong beliefs and opinions around our industry. Ramit Sethi appears to be one of those people. So on episode 6, Multi-Level Marketing Madness, he sits down with a young couple who are doing relatively well. Like they seem to be really switched on, and they are trying a bunch of different things. So they've purchased a house and they're renting out the bottom apartment, they're renting out the top bedrooms, and they're making money while they're living for free as well, and like paying off the house. It's brilliant the way that they're doing it. They've got their jobs, but they're also investing on the side as well, and some of those things are doing well, some of those things are not doing well, and he discusses those things. But then it comes down to Millie. She shares that she has a sales-based business making about $30,000 a year, and he's like, okay, cool. And later on, it comes out that that sales-based business is a network marketing company. And that's when he changes. It's kind of, there's this look on his face like a bad smell has just gone under his nose. And you can tell that, okay, he's had some experience, some negative experience with the network marketing industry before, because you can see immediately his demeanor shifts, and he says something along the lines of, oh, that's kind of funny that you're with a network marketing company, because I thought your goal was to make money. Something along those lines, which is a very interesting question to ask, or statement to say to someone, because it perpetuates probably the biggest myth out there in regards to the network marketing industry, and that is that most people don't make money. And I would challenge that myth, which I'm going to do is just go through and just correct a few of the misconceptions around this industry. And the first one is, on behalf of the network marketing industry, I cannot speak. I can only speak on behalf of Nu Skin, because that's been my experience. I've only ever been with this one company. I've never been with other companies that don't really jump around. So maybe it's true with some companies out there. Maybe it's true with a lot of companies out there. But with Nu Skin, that is certainly not the truth. What I can say, though, is that many people within the network marketing industry will create a distributor account with the company just to get a cheaper price product, because there's the retail price for the customer, in regards to Nu Skin, gives you 100% money back guarantee. So it's the most secure way of trying out something new, because if you don't like it, if you've used like half the product and you decide it's just not for me, well, you can send it back and get all your money back. So it's totally secure there. So that's why people purchase at retail. And the other option is that they can be a distributor and they can get wholesale price. There are many, many people who will create accounts as distributors and be quote unquote in a business, but they're only really cheap customers. So there is a huge portion of the distributor force who aren't actually distributors in a real sense. They're not really out there building a business. So first and foremost, you can discount most of those. And this is the problem with statistics, because later on he confronts Millie a couple of times, and he says, well, only 1% are successful within network marketing. And I would argue that not to be the case, because the problem with those statistics is that it doesn't factor in those who, number one, are just glorified customers, are just people who are trying to get some cheaper product and, well, are smart enough to go and set up a distributor account, particularly with Nu Skin, because we don't have any membership to create that account. We don't have any quotas to, that they have to do monthly in order to be able to purchase this certain thing. They don't have any minimum orders. They don't have any requirements like that. I mean, they can create an account, buy something once, and then not buy something again for a year or so. It's really, really open. It's a very equal opportunity platform, which is one of the reasons why I absolutely love working with Nu Skin, is because it does open up the doors of opportunity to absolutely anyone, because we teach people how to come in, and obviously if you have some funds so that you can get some products and get your own experience straight away, then you're going to have a better result. But if you don't, we can also teach you how to market and how to develop those skills so that you'll actually end up with sales before you've even purchased products. So there are many, many people, and that's within my own team and many other people's teams, that are way more successful than me, who have helped people to start with absolutely nothing and make money before they've even purchased a product. So it kind of throws that out the door. I believe that if you make money before you have even invested money, then you are successful right there. The other issue that I have with that statistic of only 1% are successful in this business, well, not everyone wants it. It's really hard to be successful in business, in all business. That is the truth. Most businesses fail, and they fail within their first couple of years. And within a decade, almost all of them are out of the market. And yet there are those who are willing to put in the time and effort and to develop the skills necessary to succeed, and they achieve what they are after. So I believe the opposite, actually, that if you really want this, then with Nu Skin, it is the best possible vehicle where you can succeed at what you're after, because there is a proven system, a proven pathway for people to move along, develop those skills, and get the results. But that doesn't show up when you just quote some statistics saying, well, 1% are successful. How many people actually tried to make that happen? How many people went out and developed the skills to make that happen? And are you comparing that with conventional business? Like, that is a mess out there. Have you looked at those statistics too? And that's where I find it's a little bit hypocritical, some of the things that are said, because earlier episodes there are people that have, one lady, she's got her own woodworking business, and I believe she's making around maybe 2,000 to 4,000 a month. I feel like it was around the 2,000, maybe 2,500 mark. And he said, oh, okay, and like, what's your best month? And that particular month, she'd made $8,000. And I was like, oh my God, that's amazing, high fives. Where were the high fives for Millie, who made 12,000 in a month? There was no high fives for that. All there was, what did you make the month after? And inevitably, she made less. I can't remember the amount, but maybe it was like 7,000, something like that. It's kind of looking down upon the money that comes from this industry and elevating the money that comes from another industry that has zero leverage in it. Yes, that is her own business that she owns 100%, the woodworking business, but it also relies on her 100% to go out and produce that. There is a limit to how much she can make. She has to develop the skills, she has to bring on more labor, she has to take the risk, which is what Ramit actually encourages her to do. And fair enough, if you want to scale your business in a conventional business, that's what you have to do, to go out and rent a space and take on more professional tools so that she could produce more things and she could expand and hopefully grow that business. But there was none of that encouragement within Millie and the network marketing business. And none of those things were actually needed. If she needs to expand her business, it is simply the amount of contacts that she has and the skills of how she communicates with those people will be the biggest defining factor as to whether or not she will grow that business further or not, because there is leverage built into this. And so it is a different beast to expand. So later on, then Ramit is then going through these numbers, and he's saying, like, it's a trap, and you got to get out of it. And there's some of it that he is correct about. I don't know the company that Millie is working with. It wasn't Nu Skin. But in this instance, she was rewarded with a car, and they call it like a free car. It's a Cadillac, and it turns out that actually what they do is they get the car on a 3-year lease. So that you have to go out and sign up to this 3-year lease to get the car, and the company will pay those monthly car rental checks, or majority of them. I don't know if they pay all of it. And as long as you hold that rank within the business, then you will be able to keep receiving those checks. If you drop out of that rank, then you won't. And I totally agree with Ramit on this. That is not a good reward. That is a trap. That is something that is trying to lock you to the business so that you keep building. And I don't agree with companies giving these things out. That's why I'm very happy to say Nu Skin doesn't. I mean, sometimes they might do some sort of bonus reward where you get a larger paycheck, but in general we just get rewarded with money, and we get rewarded with money and success trips when we hit those certain ranks. It's not something where you have to sign up into something and then you're going to be paying that for the rest of your life if you drop out of that. So there's a whole bunch of things here that are just kind of common misconceptions with the industry, and I feel like Ramit has gotten quite a few of them into his head. One final claim that Ramit made was that most people lose money in network marketing. And my response to that is, how? I mean, with Nu Skin, if there's no membership, if there's no sign-up fee, if there's no quotas, no minimums, if there's no obligation to do anything, if you can start with no money invested, how do you lose money? There is only upside potential there. You can lose time, of course, because you're going to have to invest your time and energy into something. But where is the money that is going to be lost from that? Again, it comes back to what I said at the beginning. I believe it is our fault, largely, that people hold these misconceptions because of how people have conducted themselves and the business in the past. And so it is our duty and our role to be the difference demonstrated, as is the catch cry of Nu Skin, which is the difference demonstrated. So we need to conduct ourselves in a different way, in a better way. We need to demonstrate that this is an incredible opportunity that has, I believe, the lowest risk that you can find for any side hustle out there. There is nothing else out there that can offer such upside potential with such minimal risk. And the risks involved in starting a business with Nu Skin is your time, your energy, and your reputation. There is no money involved in that calculation. And those three, time, energy, and reputation, are risks that are involved in all business opportunities, in all endeavors. Except with Nu Skin, it's not money that is a risk. And so I think I'll leave this here because the sun is shifting and it's making this video very difficult to see, but you get the point. I believe, it's a helpful show and it's a helpful thing that Ramit is trying to do. He's built an entire business around this. He speaks very well, but there is some fallacies there within what he is saying. It does not apply to the entire industry. It may apply to some companies. What he said about the car, I totally agree with. The other things that he talks about and getting people to discuss money, I think is fantastic and really necessary. It would be fantastic to see a different approach to, or a more educated approach to network marketing in the future. Perhaps we can help with that by being the example out there, a better example, and be that difference demonstrated. So that's it for today, guys. My name is Kurt Provost. I am your guide to all things Nu Skin. If you liked this video, then of course give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, because I'm creating content frequently, even though I am currently residing in New Caledonia, and the situation's not the best for this studio. I'm just using natural light rather than the normal lights of within my own home studio, but it will do for the next few weeks while I'm here. And if you would like to know anything further about this amazing company that we do partner with, and you would like to potentially partner with them, then just send me an email at the end, because I am helping many people to get started with this company and kind of holding their hand through the process, which is another benefit of the network marketing industry, is you get a mentor, you get a guide to help you along on this process. You're not doing it on your own. That's all for today, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.